all steps of filmmaking are difficult. I think that is something we must lay down. It's difficult to think of making a film. It's difficult to write a script. It's difficult to get it funded. It's difficult to get it made. And then it's difficult to do post, and it's difficult to release it. Every part of the process is difficult in filmmaking, is what I have learned.
Firstly, it was a pleasure meeting you and your family at the Indian Film Festival here in Melbourne. I was very, very impressed to see such a excellent film made by such a young filmmaker or a director. How old were you when you directed this film?
So I actually, firstly, thank you for having me on, and thank you for saying these beautiful, beautiful words. I was actually 21 when I wrote the film, and then I was 22 when I directed it. And by 23, I wrapped the post and everything, and you saw me at Melbourne, right at the end of that.
Lovely, lovely. That is beautiful. I mean, I really admire the new generation. They are so focused, and it's not that they're making something small. I think it's when you look at the film, it looks like it's a my God, that's a mega budget, and I mean, and understanding so difficult it is to put all this and have a backdrop of that magnitude in the film. I was blown away actually. Now, that is really very, very impressive. When did you know that you will be directing films when you grow up?
Very interesting question, because as you know, my father has been in this business for a long time, be it documentaries, short films, TV shows, everything. So I have seen it very closely growing up. And it was precisely the reason I was not so keen on entering the industry, actually, initially, because you have seen the realities, the very, very harsh realities, the very real things that happen, and you have seen so much up and down. You've seen the highs as well. It's not like you haven't seen that, but you've seen so much that you are like, do I really want to? But I think over time, I have been doing theater since I was 5 years old. So theater, I would say, was my first love, and that's how I got into the arts, especially the performing arts. And from there, my experience in performing, in directing, and writing, I think it just kept building. And then when you get exposed to cinema and how theater and cinema interconnect, you realize that cinema as a craft is beautiful, and no matter what you feel, you don't want to run away from that. So I think then I think in college, I think I was like, cinema is probably my way forward as well. And the industry has grown a lot since. The things have changed, times have changed. And I realized that every place, no matter which industry you go in, will have these same harsh realities of different kinds. So might as well go into the one that you want to go into.
Well said. Well said. You chose a very heavy subject at a very tender age, I would say. How did you do justice to the subject? And I saw the film, it has turned out so beautiful, like somebody who has seen life is put it together. How did you do justice?
I hope I tried to do justice. I mean, I don't know if I am the judge to say whether I did justice or not, but my attempt has been to have a lot of empathy, because I think without empathy, you cannot make a film, you cannot understand a character, you cannot delve into their emotions. So it was very important for me to put myself in my protagonist's shoes. Now, since I wrote the protagonist, it came from a part of me as well. So that also, like, her conditions, her circumstances, her real life situations may be very different from mine. But the emotional core was very similar. The things as a woman that I have experienced in different contexts were the similar emotions that she has gone through in different contexts. So I think at the core of it, the emotions that were there, especially related to her anxiety, her mental health, all of these things that you experience on a daily basis. So I think the emotional resonance was very important. The emotional connect was very important. And if the emotional connect is there, you can put it into any situation you want. the context can differ. This same emotion could be in like 100 different contexts, but it would still ring true if the emotion at the core of it is what's focused on, you know.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well said. Well explained. The title of the film, Diva, which means the radiant light or the light, what does that light symbolizes for you, both within the story and in your personal journey as a filmmaker?
Wow, I love this question. I really like this question because it has a lot of significance for me. I have grown up as I'm a Sikh, and I have grown up going to the Gurdwara, and I've grown up being or trying to be in touch with जो हमारी बाणी कहती है, you know. And बाणी में जग चानन की बात बहुत होती है. It talks about the light within the guru, within Nirankar, and within you. So the concept of light is not alien. It's something that is there around you throughout, and that's how it has shaped me to try and look within myself. Like, talking from a spiritual kind of point of view, you have to look within yourself constantly for you to grow, and for you to understand yourself better and understand others better. So that's what the light is for me. Even the film, and that's why it translates into the film. The fact that the song towards the end is khudi mein hai, or there is tu ka tu, which keeps coming time and again. What are these songs saying? You know, they are saying that to look within you, and that's where the light is, your own radiant light that shines within you and in others. If you don't look at it within yourself, you can't look at it within others. So I think that's what light is, and that's why it's called Deeva. Actually, it's very interesting that it was Diwali night a few years ago, when we were in the Gurdwara at night. We entered, and at that time we were very disturbed, like related to the film, like what should we do, what should we not do. And दीवा मेरा एक नाम दुख विच पाया तेल, ये शब्द गुरुद्वारे में चल रहा था, एंड उसमें ही दीवा आया. और उसी में आगे they talk about, there's a line that goes Dang Banaras, and it goes on. So I think that's where we also got the location. We were like, you know, this is a sign that, because Varanasi coincidentally was already a part of the multiple locations we were thinking of shooting in. So the moment that got reaffirmed from there, that's how we actually even got the name of the film or the character, even the location. So it is divine. Some things just are, and they happen, and that's the light.
Lovely, lovely, well explained. Now, you not only directed the film, also wrote the lyrics or songs. One of the songs, like I heard it, and it just stuck in my head for like 24/7 for at least a week. That shows that is a masterpiece, and I think it's got lot of power behind it once it's released to the public. So, is there a time when you were directing and you were picturizing the song that you saw magic happen, that they were meant to be together?
I think with that song, you're talking about Khudi Mein Hai, the first divine moment of that song was when the lyrics and the music came together. I think for me that was it, because it was very interesting, the process we took with that song. I wrote the lyrics first, I wrote the poetry first. It actually came from that 4 lines of poetry that Anarkali in the film gives to Rajo Chachi, who gives it to Deeva. That 4 lines of poetry is what I wrote first as a part of the script. Now, based off of that, I wrote the song, and I wrote it as poetry, and I wrote it as lyrics. And then I gave that to Ujjwal Kashyap, who's our who composed that beautiful song, and he then got music and sound to those words. And when that came together, that was when I felt that, you know, that was the first point of magic. Because we tried a lot of different people to do that song, and nobody was getting the heart of it, because the heart of it is, it's like that Sufi soul, you know, which is the light within you, and it has to evoke that feeling, especially where it comes in the film. So then Ujjwal took that, and once we had the song and we went on floor, For me, it was about Deeva's emotions. Like I was just constantly with me. It was what happened between me and Zuluk, the actor, and how we exchanged that emotion of what she's going through, of that liberation and that freedom. So that was where I felt that that connection was so strong, that when it actually then got to the edit and it was re-edited a lot of times, and still when I think the finally when you see her step out, especially, I think that is very important, and I think that matches very well with the music.
Excellent. Your film has traveled into lots of around the globe with lots of festivals, and you must have watched the film with different audience. How different do the people across different cultures respond or comment on a very, very pure Indian story?
Yeah, it has been very interesting because imagine the first piece of work I have ever made. It didn't start off with an Indian audience within India. It started off with Germany and then went to Melbourne and then went to the US. So it was actually very interesting, especially the first time an audience ever saw the film was in Stuttgart in Germany at the Indian Film Festival of Stuttgart. And it was so cool because, yes, half the audience was of South Asian descent, but the other half was German. They were just German audiences interested in Indian cinema. And that was for me the moment I realized that film can be very culturally specific, but it can appeal to everybody around the world because of the emotions. And I'd like to give an example from Stuttgart, I think. It was very interesting. A German lady came to me and she said that she had goosebumps while watching it because she has a daughter that she is raising as a single mother, and it's so easy for her there. And she said, I can't imagine that someone has to go through so much just to do what I'm already doing. And it hit her so much. And when she shared that with me, I was like, yeah, there are single mothers everywhere, and they go through very similar things, or they're at the opposite end where it's very easy for them to do that, but regardless they will connect with the story because it's about eventually motherhood, you know.
Tell me, like they say, all is well that ends well. How easy or difficult would it be for you to finally release this film on a platform of your choice, where it can not only give you accolades and recognition, but also recover your money, the producer's money, and make some profits to help you to grow further and make more and more films? How easy or difficult you think the last step is?
All steps of filmmaking are difficult. I think that is something we must lay down. It's difficult to think of making a film. It's difficult to write a script. It's difficult to get it funded. It's difficult to get it made. And then it's difficult to do post, and it's difficult to release it. Every part of the process is difficult in filmmaking, is what I have learned. Every step is like its own journey. And because it's happening all for the first time, it's an even more bigger journey. But I think the one thing we can take from even Deeva is to be positive, is to believe in the light within you, but also in the light of the universe. And I truly believe that if something is yours, it comes to you, and you have to work bloody hard. Like you have to work very hard for it. It's not like you don't do your karam. You do have to do all your karam, and you have to do all your hard work. And at the same time, you have to trust in the universe, because so many things are not in your control throughout the process, especially in the end last phases. So many things are not in your control, and those things you have to let go. And I'm also learning that. I'm saying this like this, but like, I also have to learn that, because you do worry and you think, how are we going to make this happen, how it's going to happen, but you have to trust somewhere in some power that is rooting for you and is protecting you. And you trust in that power, and you do what you can, and you do your best, and then you leave the rest. I think that's it.
Good attitude. I like it.
Yeah.
As a young filmmaker, what kind of stories do you dream of telling further?
Very interesting. Um, I dream of telling stories of people who are very much like us, like everybody, but they have a spark that can inspire others to also have that spark. I know it's a bit generic, but I really like my characters, and I really like them to have a spark in them, and I really like them to have something they have to overcome. I'm very interested in internal journeys where you have to grow as a person internally. You have to face your inner demons, you have to face your emotions, you have to overcome challenges in life. I'm very interested in personal journeys of characters, and I do think that in the future as well, I'm very drawn to character driven stories. I'm really drawn to humans, and I'm really drawn to how they face battles in life and the inner emotional turmoil, like that kind of stuff. I really think is something I like, and from that can go from like historical fiction and fantasy fiction to very realistic films like this. It can span any genre and any tone, any milieu, but at the heart of it, it will be a character story, is what I feel. I may change over time, like we all do, and have my own internal growth of sorts. But as of now, I think that's the one.
What continues to inspire your creative light?
What continues to inspire my creative light? There are a couple things. The first and foremost are my parents. I think whatever I have done till now in life and whatever I will continue to do will be for them. Uh, I am extremely close to my parents, and anything and everything I've done since I was a kid, like, even the small things like fancy dress or anything, like participating in anything at all, doing anything, everything is for my parents. Whatever I can achieve or will achieve or have achieved is for my parents. There is nobody beyond that for me. Um, Apart from my parents, it is also for my own growth. I think something where I want to see how far I can go. I think it's also that.
What is your take on AI and filmmaking in the coming future?
It's inevitable, I think. I'm sure when the internet came about, everybody had the questions about internet as well, and then we see where it went, right? So I think with AI, there are similar skepticisms, but it's inevitable. It's something that will happen whether we like it or not. How it will affect our industry? Yes, I think it will elevate a lot of things, like the kind of work I have been seeing around the globe within AI. It's so realistic, and it's so um, you know realistic in that sense. It can also be a way to democratize it, because like when the internet came, now you see vertical filmmaking and all these things happening with for people who didn't have access to the industry, and it really became more democratic. So maybe with AI as well, since you can sit at home and create your own films, but I just feel it's inevitable, so might as well go with it, right?
What is your perception about Australia, since this was your first visit to the land down under, as they call it?
We fell in love. We still talk about it. We fell in love with Melbourne. Because of the time frame and because the festival was just in Melbourne, we were just there since we came for the festival itself. But it was just lovely. The people, the atmosphere, e- everything. It was the coffee, magic. I miss magic on a daily basis. I think magic is hands down one of the best coffees I have had. Even Melbourne, I don't think we could explore the whole of Melbourne. Like, you need so much time to just travel and see the country. But it's beautiful till what I've seen till now.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate, and I like to wish you all the very best in life, and hope this film of yours, Deeva, releases fast and is out for the public to really enjoy, and see the hard work you've put in, and give you lots of awards, and you
Oh,
keep giving more and more great cinema to, to the world.
Thank you.